Get ready. Nothing, eh? Five. Now, hello and welcome back to Decentrahype. My name is Hamilton, this is Chester, and today we're going to be walking you through the Bitcoin markets live. And also, if you have any altcoins that you would like us to do after the Bitcoin analysis and the updates on our trades, then feel free to whack it in the chat. How's it going over there, Chester?
Yeah, good, thank you, man. Hope you are having a good day, and hope everyone else is having a good day. Starting off some shout-outs straight away, I can see Janine Fegami. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Obviously, Bitcoin's taking huge tumbles. We've got Mr. Miles, we've got Here Optimist, we've got Lauren as well. So nice to see you all on the stream, guys. And I see Mr. Miles taking the initiative today, getting his altcoin requests in. So well done. Thank you for that. And we will get to those once we're done with Bitcoin. How are you doing, Hamilton, today?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just getting ready for the night. I'm just kidding, that was a Coke. But yeah, let's jump in.
I'll start off with the short-term time frame, I presume.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to start off with the 1 hour chart here, guys. As you can see, I'm sure quite a few of you were actually asleep when this is happening, right? Because obviously we're over in Thailand, we're watching this live, so obviously the time difference is quite substantial. I see in the community, in the Telegram group, that a few of you weren't awake for this insane dump to the downside, which we're currently still a part of, guys. We're still literally in this sort of momentum to the downside. It's still live, it's still going, so we are going to be covering this on what direction we think it's going to be going, how low can we go, the question that everyone is asking, how market structure is going to be reacting to this as well. So I'll be starting off with just showing you on the shorter term time frame what we were looking at and what and where I made a bit of cold hard cash. Ready? Bit of cold hard cash. As you can see, we've got I made around 1% coming through from here, shorting out of this chart pattern below all major moving averages as well, just through to this trap zone. Wasn't big, wasn't huge, but it was a nice little short where I made a little 1%. Pretty good stuff. Now the trade that I'm currently in at this point in time is I got in short around this area from breaking this very, very nice trend line from this level of support coming through from here. You can see we actually had a very, very strong candle body bounce here, guys. This is what I was looking for, to break that level of support and also breaking this volume weighted ATR band coming through on the hourly time frame. So went short around this area and yeah, made quite a bit of cash, okay? I think I've hit 2 take profits so far. I am still short, but my my stop loss is right down at my entry point now, so it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely risk-free. I've already taken out, I think, 50% of the equity of my position, so I've already banked money here. So it's going to be a profitable trade at the end of the day, which is very, very good news. And yeah, if this does run, if this keeps going, then it's going to be very, very good for me. And yeah, I'm quite intrigued to see where this is going to go, considering the candlestick patterns that we have had recently here, guys. You can see a couple of undecided doji candles, right? That does show uncertainty in the market. And after a humongous dump like this, to be honest, I would have expected a bit of a buyback. I'm not sure if you guys were watching the chart when we did actually see this low get tapped of around 18,100 area, right? That actually happened within it was probably like 30 seconds. We bounced down within probably like $300, came all the way down, and then literally just propelled straight back up. So I was expecting a bit of a buyback coming through, but we really didn't see it. And that's why we did have that doji star candle coming through. And this is why I do think we might be due a bit more downside coming through, guys. A bit more downside, because the confidence isn't there right now. The confidence isn't there. And also we are losing this major level, this massive blue box zone that we have got drawn in here as well. So if we are going to be coming down, guys, areas to really be looking out for here, I want to be looking at 17.6 because that's obviously the low for the current bear market, which we're a part of there on the or more on the macro time frame. I'm sure Hammy will go into that in a bit more detail. But the area that I was actually looking out for was 18.1, guys. 18.1 was another area of my take profit. And as I said, we did pretty much smash that. Pretty good stuff indeed. And it was very fast, as I was just saying there as well. But in terms of just a reference to what we're seeing in the markets right now, guys, we're seeing below all major moving averages, below volume weighted ATR bands. It's looking pretty goddamn filthy, okay? Really filthy. I do want to just jump into the 15-minute RSI just to show you guys, because this is quite interesting. It's a nice falling wedge chart pattern. And we're coming up to the top side of this falling wedge chart pattern, guys. Falling wedges, they always tend to usually break to the upside, right? Not every time, but they tend to usually break to the upside. So with the RSI, guys, we know if we do even just consolidate, we will gradually get back to the central zone, and that's when we are going to see this measure move completed. Measure move actually have the completion. So what I'm saying is we're not going to be smashing it back up in terms of the price to set that lower high in terms of the market structure for this current dump. What I'm saying is we could actually just consolidate here, and we will still see that breakout coming through. We could literally consolidate here for the next 3-4 hours or so, and we will still see that breakout coming through on the RSI, which will be it'll basically mean there's going to be more room for downside. If we get up here in terms of the RSI, we could actually have a lot more room for downside coming through. So that's one thing I want you guys to be looking out for there as well, and that's something that I'm looking out for. If we do see a massive pump, okay, if we do see a massive pump, we will naturally see buying pressure coming through on the RSI as well, which will be good stuff. But yeah, just wanted to cover that very briefly here for the 15-minute. Let's jump back to let's jump to the 4-hour, right? Because this is my midterm chart. I just want to show you guys and what I'm actually looking at for right now, as well as still being short here. You can see giant falling wedge pattern, guys. As I was saying a second ago, falling wedges tend to usually break to the upside. That's not really what I'm looking out for here. I'm looking out for more this Fibonacci, not this Fibonacci, this volume weighted ATR band, which we came down and we've bounced a bit. As I said, that 18.1 that caused that bounce, but it's not really the significant bounce that we're looking for. We usually go for that volume weighted ATR band. Hold on, I'm off the screen. Volume weighted ATR band test after a big move, coming back up to the price action channel. This is usually what happens, guys. So what we can expect here, if we are going to be respecting lower highs and we are going to be respecting market structure, even though we did just break this low, guys, I would expect a test of the volume weighted ATR. A test of the price action channel. Use your words. It's so long since I've been streaming, right? But yeah, so what I would expect is a test of this price action channel coming through here, guys, and that's going to be a price of around, to be honest, I think if we do actually get a big bounce here and we come to the 0.236 Fibonacci retracement, I would expect the price action channel to be coming down to around 19,100, and this is the area for resistance. If we get a breakout from there, very nice. It's going to be a nice cheeky long that we can be getting involved with, and the 55 will be separating away from major moving averages as well. So this area will be very clean for a nice little long. But what I would expect after a move like this, after market structure still holding strong, I would expect a lower high, be set here, and then continuation to the downside if we do find support. If we don't find support here, guys, we're going to be losing the volume weighted ATR band here on the 4-hour. When this happens, it's going to be filthy. That's when and only when this happens, I would expect that 17,600 to get tested again, okay? I really would expect that to get tested again, or tested again. That level, obviously, it's the low for the bear market right now, so that's what I would expect. But if that doesn't happen, guys, we need to be looking for this chart pattern and seeing if we can actually get rejected from there. Now, if we do see us lose the volume weighted ATR band and the current swing low of this minor down of this downtrend of Fibonacci, goodness me, I can't talk today. I would be potentially looking for a short. As you can see, the measure move coming down. It's around 5.33%. That does bring us down to 17,130. I sort of would ideally be looking for that 17,600 for the TP, because if we look back in history quickly, you can see the actual bounce on that was just absolutely filthy, right? It was absolutely filthy. And then also on the macro time frame, guys, I'm sure you're aware, we do obviously have this humongous descending triangle coming through. It's not on my screen. Hammy will go through it, but you can see 17.6 is actually the area for the trap zone which we're looking for. So there is going to be a potential bounce from there. I can see Hammy is eager to get into the charts and start picking apart the longer term time frame for you guys. So I'll throw it over to him now, and yeah, sweet. Amazing stuff.
Awesome. Excellent analysis, if I do say so myself. And yeah, let's jump into the daily time frame. But before you do that, if you could like the video, that'd be fantastic. Helps us out a lot. We're a small channel, but we did get over 100 subscribers the other day, which for us is like, yes, first milestone. Let's get it done. And again, this is all completely free value for you guys. So let's jump in. This is not the daily, but for those of you that are a little bit on my side of the style for the short-term trading, I'm a little bit more cautious, right? So for this dump, I actually missed quite a lot of it, but I did get in once we basically broke down from the 1 hour volume weighted ATR band, and then we retested this trend line similar to what Chester's doing with his wedge. I think his wedge is something along the lines of this, right? Or something like this, right? Yeah, something like somewhere along that line with the on the wick side, right? But yeah, I basically looked at this, saw the candle body close under there, knew that we'd probably retest it and get some kind of reaction towards the downside from that point. Even if we head back up and kind of hit this volume weighted ATR band here, right? Then I was still expecting some kind of downwards wave. So with that knowledge and with that experience, 6 years in the markets, I know this is probably going to happen. Essentially started laddering in some shorts, and from that point I've basically been taking profit on the way down as we've come down. So I took some profit down at about 1%. just hearing your coke the side there. I took some profit around 1%. So basically around our previous low, somewhere around here, I believe it was. Is this 1%? Yeah, somewhere around here, this kind of area from previous 1 hour lows. And then I took some more profit. I had another layered in here, and I've still got 2 more layered in here as well. But my stop loss is now basically going to be at entry. So what we've created with this trade is essentially a no loss scenario. We've taken some money out, right? We've taken the profit away. And now if we do head up, and if this does turn out to be a trap somehow, I mean, it's looking pretty bad right now, as we'll see on the macro in a minute. If it does turn out to be that kind of move, then it's fine. We've lost no money. We have only made money. Okay, that's the main way that you can consistently kind of keep your win rate high in a profitable way, right? The other thing I want to talk about here on the hourly before we do move on to the daily and weekly and CME as well, we can see here that we do have the 7 SMA coming down, and typically when we get close to that after a big move such as this, then what we can do is actually put a limit order along where we expect this to be in future candles. Before the candle closes, obviously, and this has got 50 minutes left, so quite a long time. But typically, yeah, I'd be putting a limit order at 18.53. I mean, I have a limit order around there anyway. I think it might be slightly lower. I might be on this wick here, expecting it to come down a bit faster. But yeah, I mean, if we come back up, the goal here with this strategy is to come up, hit the moving average for the first time of the dump, which is typically what you'd expect to see a bit more of a continuational bounce from that area. So a pullback and continuation of the downwards trend. And then from that point, just kind of snag 1% as a small little scalp for that. And those of you that have been to my webinar online, then you will know this strategy very, very well. And yeah, that's what I'm expecting there. If it does want to come up here, it's actually not a bad sign, because I am still looking for longs despite all of this price action. I am still kind of expecting for us to come back up to 20K fairly soon anyway. It might not happen. You might think I'm crazy here, but Hash Ribbons has never lied. It's never lied. It's rarely ever wrong. So with something like this, it would only be really world events that could drag this down as such. And even afterwards, I would still be expecting a huge run after these major events anyway. Right, so let's take a look at the daily right now. And yeah, I've seen a couple of you in the chat, by the way, before we do go into this. LR, what is good, Mr. Miles? I'm not gonna say all of your names here, guys, but I did see a little Dimitru in the chat, right? Dimitru is a very, very active member in my personal chat, so welcome, sir. Nice to see you coming out here. Let's jump in to the daily and just talk about what I'm thinking right now. Okay, so we've actually come towards the lower side of the trap zone of this descending triangle, as you can see, right? If we wanted to be sticklers about this, we could say, okay, we have a trap zone here. We wouldn't want to be looking for trades until we get out of that trap zone. But as I explained in my video yesterday, I was looking to get into trades as soon as we lost this low, and we have actually lost this low now. It is a daily, so for a bigger short to come in from me, I want to see a daily close underneath this, a retest, and then breaking down from that point would be a bit more probable for me for continuation of the trend, rather than this potentially being a trap, right? But don't get me wrong, this does look very bearish. This does look bad, and there's a few things I do want to highlight here today for you guys, right? So with this thing, if we want to find a nice short here, basically today and tomorrow, if it does want to come through and it does look healthy in many ways, then yeah, I will be expecting some kind of 9 to 12% trade towards the downside, which will be fantastic. Don't get me wrong, that will be fantastic if we can pull that off, but it has to be healthy. It has to be something that's fairly predictable and fluid. Bless you, sir. You can feel the COVID now. Just kidding. But yeah, carrying on here, we can see giant descending triangle. And just to kind of summarize this, I've talked about this so much on various streams on different channels right now. So yeah, let me just recap here. We can see, yeah, we've got this last recent wave that would be coming down, and that would kind of be closing out around 16.5, that kind of area, right? So that's the reason for this measure move. And yeah, I did want to draw this back in as well. Look back at this previous pattern and just say, hey, because if you do remember, guys, we didn't actually fully complete the measure move towards the downside here. And this is something that's quite frequent in a bear market. You can expect stuff like this. So we actually got to 18.5 in the previous bear trap, as you guys remember, right? And then from that point, we banged it all the way up again, right? So we didn't actually complete the measure move, which was down to 17.8. So if there is a target here, and if this is going to be potentially just another sweep of the lows before continuation towards the upside, then I do think, and obviously we've broken this low now, so it's not looking fantastic, but there is still a chance we can actually flip around these kind of high 17 areas. So just be careful of that. Nothing is written in stone just yet. Yes, I am currently looking for shorts. It is quite bearish, don't get me wrong, but I want to see what happens when we do hit this level, this 17.8 level, and whether we do completely reverse from that point, or whether we do kind of do something along the lines of this, in which would still be in line with our plans here anyway for the lowest possible entry for a short, which would be about 17.5 all the way down to 16.5. So if we do kind of bounce off this, no problem. We could probably find some longs towards the upside as we reclaim those lower volume weighted ATR bands on like a 4 hour or something like, sorry, not 4 hour, 1 hour. Sorry, as we come up here, you can see here 18.8 is where that volume weighted ATR band is. So once we reclaim that, a lot of the time we can get pretty nice moves and pretty nice trades and a pretty decent edge towards the upside for scalps, right? So that's kind of my plan if we do head up from that point. But if we do just kind of trickle down here or end up in a major crash, as we do know and love in September's, like every year, then yeah, we can probably expect some kind of short towards the downside, kind of filling out between 17.5 and 16.5 for a grand move towards the downside. Pretty good stuff that would be. But if we do want to actually head up from here, there is an argument to say, hey, the trap zone is a lot bigger than that, as we did just discuss. And again, this measure move could push us up as well on the completion. So this ginormous triangle, this descending triangle, would technically still be valid if we did recover from this point. So if we do actually head back up either by the end of today or the end of tomorrow, I'd probably want us to be above 19.4, which is miles away, by the way. Now it's a whole $1,000 away. But I'd want us to see an engulfing candle tomorrow for this to turn out to be a trap, right? And then continuation towards the upside, in which we find some longs along the way and potentially some shorts if this does want to curl over on the shorter time frames as well, right? We can see that 10 SMA here on the daily kind of pushing down as well, nowhere near price. So yes, a pullback when we're this far away from the 10 SMA does make sense to me. So yeah, even if we do get down to this area, I would expect us to probably come up, test this 10 SMA over a few days, and then bang it down towards the end of the week. That would kind of be the plan there for some kind of more idle shorts, I guess you could call it. But yeah, just continuing towards the upside, let's take a look at the new wave that we could potentially be having here, right? So the most recent wave would be this if we do break out towards the upside, and then we'd basically be looking for a trade between 21.4 and 22.6. Is that right? 22.6? Yeah, 22.6 coming through. So yeah, if I'm going to put a measure, so not a measure move on that, that is a measure move, but if I'm going to put a percentage on that, it's going to be about 5%. Again, these are huge trades. You guys, if you have good memories, you will remember that we were basically in like 1 to 4% ranges for ages, like months at a time, right? So yeah, having potential measure moves that are actually quite probable to play out that are this big is actually a really good advantage as a trader, as long as you keep your cool and you don't kind of get shaken out by these moves and really just react to the markets. Don't just think, wow, everyone's bearish, I'm going to be bearish as well, let's just bang in a short and hope it goes to 10k, because that's not good risk reward, all right? You need to be reacting to the markets as traders rather than just making a long-term prediction and then just banging it in, right? That's more on the investing side if you are making longer-term predictions, right? So that would basically be it for Bitcoin right now. If we are going to look at the hash ribbons as well, hash rate still massively high here, still massively high, which does say that there's more power going into mining Bitcoin, which does mean the network itself is potentially scaling or is allowing for scaling. but we just need price to follow that, right? So this is actually a really, really good sign for hash ribbons. Quite bullish, quite good stuff. I just want to see us kind of get back above this high again, 22.4 to 22.6, this kind of area. If we can resurface around that zone, that's going to be fantastic, and we can start looking for some beautiful trades towards the upside from that point. But until that time, riding momentum down off of moving averages on the shorter time frames is probably a good idea, and it's something that we are doing right now, right? We're doing this literally right now on our accounts, and we are making money doing it, right? We're just slamming take profits, slamming them. So yeah, fantastic stuff. I'll probably be looking to close this trade around 17.5. I'm not too interested in going much lower than that, right? And if we do bring up like a 4 hour, so I can zoom out to this, there are important levels around this this zone as well. There was actually a low on the hourly put in around this area, so yeah, that's why that line is there. Just a little small pivots, an excuse to put a take profit there, right? Rather than leave it into the end and potentially miss it, right? So yeah, trailing our stop losses down with every take profit we hit, looking to hit more take profits if we do want to go lower, and then just taking into account everything that's happening in the markets, particularly with the volume weighted ATR bands as well. And just remember, 4 hour volume weighted ATR band, as Chester said, is at 18k right now. So it's going to be a key area to watch. If we lose that, retest it, break the low, this could literally free fall. And I would even go as low as targeting potentially 14k if that does happen. But again, not saying that right now. I'm just saying if that does happen, that will be an area I'd be watching, not just for taking profits on shorts, but taking profits, but entering long positions, right? And the reason for that is, I almost deleted the chart there, is this 14k run top, which is just so important. It's going to be a huge pivot if we hit it. This is going to be the area where I'm going to be looking for a long, in which we bounce potentially up to 20k from that point, which if we are just going to quickly put a percentage on that before we do move on to some potential altcoin things, we're talking about like 37% on 1x, just looking for a bounce off 14k to come up and retest 20k, which is absolutely completely viable to be thinking about. And then whether it's continuation of the trend down or whatever, we would have made a huge, just horrifically good trade, a horrifically good trade in which just money is pouring out of our ears at that point. Crazy stuff. So yeah, how's it going over there, Chester? Have you seen any altcoins in the chat? I'm seeing a few over there. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool stuff.
So I basically picked apart SHIB straight away because I saw Lauren talking about SHIB, and I never usually look at SHIB, so I thought, you know what, while you're doing that, I'll obviously sit and listen to your TA and as well just do some picking apart on SHIB. So I've brought up SHIB on the I start on the 1 hour. So if we go to that, and I'm just gonna go into SHIB there for Lauren, and then we're gonna go into I also want to look at Atom after that. I think I want to look at Atom after that. Maybe you could do an altcoin in between, Hammy, and then we can go from there. But
yep,
I'll do SHIB for now, and then we'll do that, right? So as you can see here for SHIB, guys, because Lauren was talking about, that's Lauren in the chat, guys, go say hello to her. She was talking about this absolutely insane death dump to the downside that we did see for SHIB, dumping down. Obviously this is like 1,000 times the price, right? So this is literally like 1 cent all the way down to I can't even say it, right? So yeah, you can see a huge dump. Let's get some price range here, and let's talk about how much it actually dumped, right? So it dumped like 13.8%, so around 14% in literally an hourly candle, right? If we jump right down, you can see 15-minute candle, you can see 3-minute candle. Look at this, absolutely filthy for an asset to be dumping this much in such a short period of time. And that is why we're not buy meme coins. I'm joking. No, that's why we tend to usually not trade these ones, because they're not as stable, and it's a lot higher risk trading, guys. But yeah, each their own. People love it. I know. But yeah, back to chart patterns and back to Tia on what we can actually see coming through here. You can see straight away a descending triangle coming through. Oh no, got rid of it. You can see a descending triangle coming through here on the chart, guys. You can see these lower highs are being set very, very strong indeed, and you can see this is obviously the level of support that we are trying to currently break. We have tried to break this to the lower side already, most recently around the 19th of September, this morning actually, yeah, this morning. So we did actually see a test of the lower side here. Candle body closed below the zone, but you can see we have actually created this trap zone on this area. So this is essentially the no trade zone, which annoyingly, unfortunately, the measure move for this is going to be around this, guys. It's going to be around a 1.21% because we're quite coiled up towards the end of the pattern. Is a descending triangle. They tend to usually break to the downside, usually going to be continuation, and obviously we can see market behavior at the moment is absolutely awful. Okay, so I would expect some downside here for SHIB. But as I was just saying there, this is the trap zone, guys. This is the no trade zone. So right now, you could get in, and you could be using this area, this 1 cent 0495 as your first take profit, and then your second take profit could be the completion of the measure move. But at this time for me, it might just be me because I'm biased and I don't really like SHIB, but it might just be, it's just a bit too risky. I think it's a bit too risky. If you can catch an insane dump to the downside, amazing stuff. But right now, you are pretty much just consolidating in this area. Okay, you're pretty much consolidating. And to be honest, after seeing a test like this as well, I probably would also want to do something like this, right? You can go candle body close, nice little wick in there as well, for support, and that will bring you a falling wedge. Falling wedges, guys, they tend to usually break up, okay? So that's another thing you want to be looking out for there. It sounds a really awful arrow. Another thing you want to be looking out for there as well. But yeah, that's pretty much what I would say about SHIB. If we are comparing that to what is happening to my chart? If we are comparing that to all other markets right now, it's obviously going to be bearish, okay? Because Bitcoin's bearish. A lot of other altcoins are. Altcoins that are actually standing out to me at the moment. OWL goes up 5.8%. I don't know how. Atom has just been doing an unbelievable run recently. So I will be going into that once Hammy has done an altcoin request as well, because I've been intrigued to be looking at that for quite a while and share some knowledge with you guys about that. We've got Near is pretty much break even as well, and to be fair, SHIB is looking break even as well. But to be honest, I'm not really that surprised because of obviously that horrific dump and the consolidation needed before that. But yeah, overall, below all major moving averages here, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much what I would say about SHIB. Pretty much what I would say about SHIB there. But yeah, I'm not sure what you're going to be jumping into there, Hammy. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. What you think SHIB is going to do, because it does look pretty horrific after that dump.
It does indeed. It does indeed. And yeah, I wanted to check out Flux because I don't want to flex on the Flux, but I did call this one absolutely to a T from our last request on this. So let's just jump in and talk about this. I'm not saying I called the move, okay? That's not what I mean by a call. What I meant was I call the trade, right? I call the potential trade if certain parameters are filled, then there is a profitable potential scenario in which you can make money with. So I said there was a potential short on this thing as it breaks down. I think I said this last week, maybe even the week before, but we can see here on the 4-hour, we had this wedge drawn in. I haven't touched this since I essentially said this last week. So you can see this, that, yeah, we were basically looking for the move down here, bouncing off the 200 EMA and SMA on the 4-hour here, and just saying, hey, if we lose that point after the bounce, we'd be looking for a trade towards the downside to fulfill the measure move based on one side to the other of the most recent wave, as you can see here, right? So that has come into fruition. We did come down, we bounced off that, we retested the trend line, we broke the low, and a picture perfect trade has come into fruition here. We can see this. It's just about to complete the measure move coming through. Yeah, that's enough gloating from me. I didn't even get this trade. I wasn't looking at it either. But yeah, just goes to show you can be right with measure moves and patterns if you know what you're doing, and you have the experience in the space as well. So if we're looking at this right now, potential bottoms is probably what the request is here, because a lot of people that request altcoins have either like probably invested in it more than actually are trading it for the short or long side. But I believe it was Miles, right, who said that, right? So I think you're a trader, aren't you, bro? Rather than an investor. So maybe you did short this on the way down. If so, congrats. Let's go. But yeah, looking at this right now, the bottom of the measure move is 0.88, as you can see on your screens right now on the right hand side. And yeah, if we do want to kind of hit this area, I would expect at least a bounce to come through. Obviously, if Bitcoin comes down and literally just tanks it to 14K, I don't think this survives above 80. I don't. Maybe you get one of these wick bounces, but as of right now, sorry, this Coke's like really making me want to burp, so I'm trying to hold that off right now. But if we all know the struggle, if we are gonna look at this in terms of areas of bounce, if Bitcoin was to kind of round off here as well, then what I would be expecting is the volume weighted ATR band here on the 4-hour coming through. So that's going to be at 0.84. We can see that nicely, right? And then we've got 0.88 for the end of the measure move. So if we're looking for an area for a real kind of bounce to come in, it would kind of be between those zones. It might even have a little trap here towards the downside and then bang it up. Point of no return here would probably be if we come down, we have this obviously coming over us over time, and then we basically come up, retest it, and if we break that low, similar to like we did here, right? If we break that low, then we'd be looking for a trade towards the downside based on the momentum here. But if I'm gonna say this market does recover a little bit and bounce over the next kind of few days here, this could just be one of those bloody Mondays, and then we just bang it back up here across the board with all crypto. But I don't want to speak too soon with that because we're kind of in the middle of the dump right now. It's not like nothing's confirmed. We don't even have a good low put in really to kind of get a trade off of or get any kind of direction off of just yet anyway, right? So if we are looking at this, yeah, I'd expect definitely some confluence around this area, some volatility coming through. If it does want to come up from that point, I would be looking to potentially see this come up and test the 21 EMA coming through, and then after that point, 200 EMA is going to be a must for a test if we do want to kind of break these trend lines coming through. So if we're going to go up here and actually see if we can draw a little trend line coming through with this thing, yeah, something like this. So if we actually get over basically 0.94, that kind of area, I will be expecting a bit more of a wave towards the upside, back up to a buck, right? If that doesn't come into fruition, then I mean, I would probably just be expecting sideways in this area between 0.83 and kind of this $1 area anyway, right? If we get above a buck again, then it's all good. Everyone in 100x. Bang it. I'm just kidding. Don't do that because we won't be out of the woods just yet. But if we do get above that, it's quite necessary. It's okay to be expecting a test of this previous trend line if that does want to kind of break above the 200 EMA and SMA again, particularly the 55 as well, right? So basically, if we get above this 112 area, I will be expecting some kind of move towards 125. But as of right now, we are just sinking, hurtling. I don't know, I have no other words there, but falling into the abyss here, in which it doesn't look great for most coins right now. So that would be it for Flux right now on the 4-hour. Daily's pretty much the same as you can see here. I would be watching this like a hawk based on the end of this measure move, so 0.88 down to 0.80 as we've said, and that's also where this previous low was on the daily. So this is going to be a very crucial time here for the Fluxy boys, but what I can say is it's been behaving pretty nicely compared to the rest of the market, as we said in the last stream, right? It's been behaving pretty nicely compared to the rest of the market as a coin in itself, right, in terms of momentum towards the upside. So that is typically a good sign, but be watching this volume weighted ATR and basically be watching 80 cents here for this coin, because that's going to be the key zone, the make or break zone for this. And yeah, if the whole market tanks, this will obviously tank with it. So be careful with that stuff and just be watching these pivots that we've had on the way up as supports on the way down, right? Simple stuff there. Do you have a little coin there, Chester?
Yes, I'm going to be going into a bit of Atom, guys, because Atom has been doing insanely well recently since we saw the bear market low for Bitcoin, right? And I think it's actually one of the only altcoins on my list that's actually just been trending up for a significant amount of time, right? So yeah, let's jump down into the chart here a bit and see what we were actually looking for here. This is obviously the low that we did see for Atom in this current bear market, bouncing pretty violently off the volume weighted ATR band a few times here, guys. Now, the low that we're currently working with is going to be around $5.54. Now, the price of Atom is literally currently $14.82. So it's near enough 3x in this bear market, which is absolutely insane compared to a lot of other altcoins, guys, considering the place of it as well on the coin market cap race to the top for the highest market cap. We are seeing Atom actually do really, really well. Now, the pumps that I want to talk about a bit, guys, is what my community, the CC community, were talking about. I think like over the weekend or something along the lines of that, maybe a couple of weeks ago. But it's just been pumping out of nowhere like 10, 20%. It's been absolutely insane. So I'm going to be going into them a little bit. And also, I just want to jump to the chat because I saw I can't say your name very well, bro. I'm not that great at reading, but I can trade and make paper. But but yeah, I see you just subscribed, so thank you very much. And I see you've said also, I would like if you guys can update frequently for the price of BTC movement. Just for a little update for our timetable for you, sir. We stream Monday, we stream Wednesday, and we stream Thursday for a Thursday night trade-off as well. So yeah, that's how you can tie us into your work schedule. But yes, again, thank you for subscribing. But back to Atom for now. Let's talk about where we could potentially be going, and also this potential trade which you guys could have got involved with. So you can see from the low that we were talking about, that around that $5.5 dollars there, you can see the upward sloping parallel channel. To be honest, a very, very nice clean uptrend. Okay, probably the cleanest uptrend that I've seen in a long time for crypto. Now, also what we were looking for, obviously, it's a parallel channel, guys. So we're looking for a potential break to the upside here. here. You can see this is the measure move, banging it straight up around 19.24% the move, well, probably around 20%, right? All the way up to the measure move completion at around 19% along the lines of that. So well done if you got involved with that, and well done if you are actually making money with Atom right now. In terms of the chart pattern that I'm looking for now, guys, obviously we can still be using this pretty humongous trend line, okay? We can still be using that, but for simplicity's sake right now, I'm just going to get rid of that because I don't want the chart to be too crowded here. So you can see on the lower side, what have we got? We've got levels of support that we're working with. Okay, the levels of support that we're working with is coming up. So if we are going to see Atom come down a little bit more, I would expect 1421 to be a level of support to potentially bounce at. If we can bounce there, amazing. If not, absolutely fine. We've got 200 EMA and 200 SMA to test there. If we lose them, we can actually be looking for a more, what's the word? A more detailed short to the downside, right? And this is sort of the measure move that I would be looking for, because I saw you guys in the chat, you're eagerly waiting for a huge dump for Atom. To be honest with you, it could happen, okay? Atom could happen. The reasoning for this is because it's obviously pumped a hell of a lot. It's like 3x since the low of the bear market, right? So, yeah, we can easily see a little retracement of around 18%. So let's do some percentages of the low. It's going to be like 300% or something stupid, right? Let's have a little look at the low to the high right now. It's currently around, yeah, it's around 217% was the high. Currently sat at around 170% in profit. Well, not in profit. From the most recent, from the low of the bear market. Use your words, man. So yeah, a little 18% to the downside is absolutely fine. That's good. And if we can profit from that, guys, that's sort of what we're going to be looking for if we lose these very crucial moving averages. Because we know if we're below our major moving averages, we usually see the downtrend commence. Okay. Now, if we don't see that and we see the ungodly thing happen, which we are seeing pretty much at the moment, like Atom absolutely banging it out of nowhere, we can still be capitalizing on this. We can still be making money on these huge pumps. Now, what am I looking for now? That's the reason why I got rid of this trend line, was because of this. It's because you can see we've obviously got a clean horizontal section on the top side for resistance, and you can see on the lower side we do have a very nice level of support. So that is creating a measure move to the upside along the lines of this, for an ascending triangle to the upside, right? And that's going to be worth around 19.71%. That's money. You know why we're here. We're here to make money. Cold, hard cash, baby. So yeah, 19.71% is going to be a very, very juicy trade, which I'm going to be looking for here for Atom. And what I really want to see here is a nice solid candle body close, probably above 16.87. First take profit is going to be around 17.33, right in that wave up. And as you can see, volume weighted ATR band here, guys. You can see this little red bab, or you can see the resistance that we do get on that. That is actually getting very, very steep, a lot steeper, which is very good for you, very good for me if we're going to be making money in this long. Okay, so that's sort of what I'm looking for there for Atom. But rest assured, if we do dump down, we are going to see, here we go. There we go. We are going to see this this upward sloping parallel channel have a measure move completion to the downside of around 18%. So there's money to be made either direction. It's just how you're reacting to that, guys. That's going to be Atom covered. I think they've obviously got some really good stuff going through on their website about launching DeFi and all that juicy stuff. So yeah, you're welcome to go and check that out. I think BTC's dumped like $50 or something since I was talking. Pretty good stuff. Now currently down at 18,389. Interesting stuff. Have you got a coin that you're going to go into, Hammy?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Good.
Let me take a look. Let's have a look. So I think we had Link. Did you do Link last or not?
No, I didn't do Link last, but I think I saw someone ask about Link at the start of the stream. It was Peter K, actually.
Yeah.
Peter K, who's tuned into like every single one of our live streams, so do appreciate that. Do appreciate you, man.
All right, let's jump in to some Link. I was just messing around on this, so just this is nothing. Don't worry about this. But what I wanted to talk about with Link before we do dive into these shorter time frames here is this thing. A lot of you guys weren't around for this kind of run for Link, but essentially this doesn't look like any of the other altcoin charts, simply because throughout the entire bear market, the last bear market before the 2020 run, right? Throughout that entire bear market, Link was just absolutely banging it towards the upside, holding structure. It was one of the most powerful, dominant coins in the space. And now it just goes down. it just goes down. I don't know what to tell you. It's no, it broke its structure here, obviously, which is it was an important one. And then since that point, we've essentially just been tumbling into the abyss, and it's a bit more kind of in sync with the rest of the market. So if I'm going to look at this on the daily to begin with, I do just want to see. I don't know if my eyes can see this well. Okay, no, we aren't over that resistance just yet. We're kind of testing it and playing with it a bit, but yeah, I wouldn't call this a confirming over it and pushing off of it. So yeah, not fantastic there for Link just yet, but showing some promise at least, right? It's trying to at least, which is important. And this is a daily, remember. We will go down to the 4 hour as well here, don't worry, but let's take a look at some patterns here as well, because there's a beautiful pattern here on the daily. Beautiful little channel coming through. And if we can look at this. Oh, I see you just subscribed to our channel. Thank you very much. We can see this. We can see this coming down. If it does want to be a measure move towards the downside, as we can see here, right? Then there's a few ways we can play this, right? We can just play. We can basically say, hey, if we lose this low at 530 for the absolute most cautious and most probable trade, if we lose this low at 530, then I would basically be looking for this to come down all the way down to $4, which is not what a lot of Link people want to hear as well. The other side to this is the volume weighted ATR band here. Absolutely just tanked it after this last dump down. So not fantastic here for Link. An absolute bottom here for me for Link would be about $1.21, which is not what anyone wants to hear, obviously. But yeah, we got to play it how it is at the end of the day. The other way you can play this as well is a smaller measure move, which would basically, I mean, this is a bit of an iffy one because of this last trap, as you can see here, but basically a giant descending triangle. I would probably put more weight on this line here. Obviously, it's coming down from the previous local high. So if we are looking at this, yeah, this would be somewhat of a descending triangle as well. If we did want to just straighten this out using the shift button, okay, we can see that, yeah, a lot of confluence around this area at the bottom side. So that would be another thing to be watching for, a bit of a smaller measure move, to say the least. So if we do come down here, the smaller measure move will be something a bit like this towards the downside, which would be essentially from this 540 area. If we lose that, coming down to 0.46. So with that, how would I trade this, taking both of these measure moves into account? Probably wouldn't want to be getting in a position just yet. This does look very trappy and volatile right now. It's not really something I typically like to trade on a daily even as well, right? So we'll go down to the 4 hour in a minute, but yeah, not looking fantastic in terms of traps on the daily. But yeah, how would I play this coming down if we are looking at this coming through? And we're going to leave this up here because this was obviously the previous pattern we were just talking about, and I prefer this low anyway to begin the start of this measure move anyway, as weird as this looks on the chart, right? But if we are going to look at this to say we do get in somewhere around the break of this low, there's a 12% trade towards the downside there. That's a huge trade, to say the least, right? And then if we are going to take this and we're going to hold control here and then duplicate it with that, right, while we drag it, 23% towards the downside for the other take profit, which is fantastic, right? So this would be a monumental trade coming through. This does need to recover soon. It's breaking its local structure. It needs to recover soon if it does want to have any upside. But just for the sake of it, we'll talk about some upside as well. So the most recent wave replicated towards the upside here. If we are going to look 8.33 would be the entry point for there, and I'd definitely take all the profit out around this area. And then if it does take time and this 200 SMA comes down as well, then I'll be taking profit wherever that may be as well. So yeah, this would be the potential long I'd be looking for right now. But as of right now, I probably wouldn't be looking for a position here on the daily. There's a lot of time here for this to do whatever it wants. So we'll see how that goes. But that would be the reactional ways I would play this as this breaks out of the pattern. If we're looking at this in terms of percentages, yeah, about 11 to 13% here as well towards the upside. Fantastic stuff coming through. And then the other side as well, if we do want to get really sneaky, is this channel that we drew in at the beginning here for the daily, coming up, breaking out above the 200 EMA and SMA as well. From $10 onwards, we could probably ride that all the way up to about $13-14, depending on where this volume weighted ATR band is. And if you want to take profit along the way, that would be obviously these pivots coming through. Let's bring it down to the 4 hour and just see if this looks completely different. No, it looks exactly the same. So if we are going to look at this, yeah, it's pretty much the same story with this thing. The only thing I would say with this is watching these volume weighted ATR bands for any trend coming through is going to be important, right? So when altcoins get above the volume weighted ATR band and stay above it, there are good trades to be had coming through this. And you might be saying, what about this one? It's not that good. But if you look at this in terms of percentages, still like 4% here, which is massive for any trader. It's just because we're zoomed out, right? And then it's the same towards the downside as well. If we lose that volume weighted ATR band, we can get massive trades as we took with the Bitcoin one as well coming through. You can see just endless examples of this being fantastic. And then in more bullish conditions, yeah, just riding along that volume weighted ATR band for epic, inconceivable gains here. I know some of you guys were liking the articulations here, so I'm coming through, and then I can't even say articulation. Beautiful stuff. But if we are looking at this, yeah, what we're looking for in short is to get above this volume weighted ATR band here and then ride that up for the measure move. That would be the most ideal situation here for us to get into a long coming through. And then towards the downside, in conclusion, yes, losing this volume weighted ATR band towards the downside would be fantastic for all of these trades that we've just explained coming through. So that's going to be it for Link. Do you have anything on your side, Chester, for another coin?
Yes, I would quite like to go into Atom. We know Atom's been doing very well today. It's up around near enough 5%, even taking into account BTC's dump. So I'm going to be going into Atom on the macro and then also the micro as well, just to see if we can get some sort of trade lined up for the future. Obviously, for ourselves, Hamilton, not for you guys, because we're not financial advisors at all. But I do want to say, guys, thank you ever so much for watching so far. We do enjoy having you here. We do enjoy having these streams. We do enjoy the like button getting smashed as well. And we are here Monday, Tuesday. No, we're not here Tuesday. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday for a Thursday night trade-off where we go head-to-head with like $300 and degenerately leveraging everything that we have in our accounts in that sense. Right, good fun. So yeah, I'm going to be starting off with Atom here, guys, on the daily time frame. And just explaining a little bit about this, because this is absolutely filthy. Obviously, the bear market has come into fruition, and it has thrown the price down from the all-time high on Bybit.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. There we go. Carry on.
From the all-time high for Bybit coming through at around near enough $3 for Atom, currently sat at around 30 cents. Okay, so really quite horrific in terms of how the bear market has affected this as an asset. But I do want to say, if we're looking at the momentum of the dumps for this coin, you can see it's gradually slowing down. We're gradually leveling off here. We're gradually leveling off, and this is obviously a good sign. If the momentum to the downside, if the momentum to the downside is slowing down, that basically shows us that we're looking for momentum to the upside. And that's probably why we are seeing some decent price action coming through for Atom most recently. In terms of the low that we're looking to actually hold, we're pretty much holding it fairly well, guys, around 27 cents here. This is sort of the area that we are looking to not break. If we break that, that's going to be the market structure low that we are going to be breaking as well. So that will be adhering to market structure conditions, and that means that we will see lower prices. Okay, now I want to talk about I want to ideally talk about what the pump that we have seen today. Okay, was it today? Yesterday? Today. Yes, today we have seen a huge pump of a significant amount. Okay, so I do want to talk about that because we are actually seeing a fairly big sell-off as well. So I'm going to be going into that as well. Now you can see we do have the resistance along the top side, guys. Multiple levels of resistance, and this is where we actually got slammed down today with a lot of momentum. Okay, still in the process of trying to recover from that resistance, and the support I want to talk about at the moment is the lower side of this symmetrical triangle chart pattern, guys. It is a symmetrical triangle chart pattern, technically in a bear market on the macro, technically at the bottom of this downtrend. I'm not really going to be counting this as a bearish pennant chart pattern just because it's still pretty much in this ranging period, right? It's not really that congruent for the initial continuation to the downside, because that's what a bearish pennant chart pattern means. It means at the bottom of a downtrend, you have a symmetrical triangle chart pattern, usually means continuation to the downside. So I'm not really going to be counting that because we don't really have the data there for that. But what I do want to say is this triangle, this symmetrical triangle, has the potential to break either way, guys, okay? Either way, we're looking at potential trades, okay? The measure move to the upside is going to be looking at something along the lines of this. Yes, it is going to be basically repeating the move that we have just seen here, which let me actually get a price range on that to show you guys the move that we have seen for Atom today from candle body open here around 5 a.m. all the way up. It was around a 10.13% move to the upside. Currently sat a lot lower, around 4.66. Obviously, potentially due to Bitcoin taking a long time in the toilets. But yeah, hopefully we can see a bit of recovery coming through from there. Now we are looking at the measurement to the upside is going to be currently sat around 6.68%, and that is a potential long position. I would be using that wick, that rejection wick that we did see earlier on today, as a first take profit point. And that'll be around 32.4. And then from there, I'm literally just using the key areas of resistance coming through that we have seen in previous price action, all the way up to the completion of that measure move. Once you hit our first take profit, guys, you know what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking our stop loss, moving our stop loss to our entry point. And that basically means it's a risk-free trade, okay? Risk-free. Money. It's already taken, and then you basically take out 25% equity each time you hit a take profit, okay? It's called staggering take profits. It's a very, very, very simple yet insanely effective exit strategy, especially for crypto, right? Especially for crypto with how volatile these markets can be. Another thing that I do want to talk about is these called up moving averages, guys. When you have called up moving averages, you usually see a big bit of price action, a big bit of moves to the downside. Downside or the upside, okay? So at this point in time, for example, called up moving averages, massive move to the downside. Called up moving averages, massive move to the upside. It's just something that tends to happen. Called up moving averages, massive move to the upside. So what we're seeing now, pretty strong called up moving averages. So we have just seen two humongous moves to the upside and the downside. We're coming down to test this level of support around 30, nearly said $30 then, 30 cents and 65. And this is definitely an area that I would expect some sort of support. Whether it's like a little 1% bounce.
Shall I tell him?
Should I tell him?
You're on algo, not atom.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I meant algo. Yeah.
Oh, I think you just said atom. Yeah. You did atom last one as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I did it. Sorry, guys. Apologies for that. Yeah, I did atom last time. But yeah, so you can see how easily it is to mix that up. But yeah, algo. Just to clarify, this obviously these moving averages here, guys, are going to be a massive level of support. Now, if we lose them, if Bitcoin is going to have continuation down, if we're going to be losing the symmetrical triangle chart pattern as well, the measure move down is actually significantly larger to the downside for a short position here. And after seeing such a significant pump to the upside, I would be I'd quite like to get involved with this one. It's around an 8.29% there. You know the score, staggering those take profits. As just discussed there, in the instance for the potential for the upside. So yeah, that's sort of what I would be looking for. I would ideally like a candle body close below 28 cents to really get into that. Otherwise, you're probably going to get reversed on there. But if you do lose all major moving averages here as well, that's another great sign for downwards momentum. But yeah, this is the sort of point I really, really would be watching, is this area here, guys. But it is also very, very volatile as well. Should we be looking at another coin? Have you got another coin for you to go through there, Hammy?
Yeah, I wanted to just touch on two really, really quickly because we are running a bit short on time. So I'm just going to breeze through this. First of all, Reef from, I believe, who was this from? If I can find it. Hello, from Gene. If you are still there, Gene. How's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Let's get into Reef here, beginning with the daily. Okay, so yeah, this is a coin that has just gone down for a long time. Not fantastic. It's also very, very volatile in certain areas, but not in other areas, right? What we can say that's fairly positive about this one is, yes, we did break out of our previous range, which is important, right? So what we need to do here is essentially stay above 48 here, right? So 4,800 in the 0.00 decimals coming through. I'm just not going to say 0.00 every time. Just, yeah, I'll be saying 4,800 coming through here. But yeah, what I will say with this thing on the daily, it's good that it's above there, but again, this could easily drop down. And just looking at the moving averages based on momentum anyway, what we typically see in most charts is, hey, we got our pump, we bounced off the 10 SMA, and now we've actually closed the daily candle underneath the 7 SMA. We closed the daily candle underneath the 7 SMA, and yeah, retested it, and it is now continuing towards the downside. So where would I expect this to go over the next few days or weeks, right? Probably down to at least 47.50, and then from that point to come down and test the price action channel. It can be saved here around this 4,700 area based on this previous pivot becoming a support, right? But if we do make any kind of headway below that area and close multiple dailies underneath that 4,700 area, right, then yeah, I will be expecting probably some kind of fizzle out sideways coiling up from this asset generally. And besides that, I did just want to look back to see how it does respect moving averages in trends, right? So Yeah, typically this trend's pretty good. Actually, it's respecting this 10 SMA. No respect for the 21 EMA after it loses it, right? So sorry, the 7 SMA. I always say the 10 on the daily because that's what I normally do on Bitcoin. But yeah, we can say here, yeah, it has respected these moving averages pretty nicely on the downside as well here. So will we get that continuation and respect off moving averages here? I think it's possible, but remember we've got the 200 SMA and EMA here now that will be pushing us down. So for us to really make any kind of movements towards the upside that are significant, I would want to see us above 6,000 on that side. So 0.006 coming through. Let's bring it down to the 4-hour really quickly. This is dirty. Look at this, dirty. I want it to stop. It's not great. What we can say with this thing is there might be a little pattern. Let's just see if this looks good. It's good enough. It's good enough. I just don't like this dirt, but we'll draw a measure move on it anyway, just for the sake of it. But you can see I'm very unimpressed with this coin right now. But yeah, we can see here, if we do lose that 45, pretty much what we were saying before, right? Losing that 4,700 area could initiate us to come down a lot lower. We do have the volume weighted ATR band here on the 4-hour, which is at 4,000 here. So yeah, that could be a potential area for a bounce for sure. From that point, it's probably going to be sideways choppiness and yeah, no continuation in either direction ideally here, right? Because if it does want to continue down, the continuation would be expected to go down. But it does seem to respect the volume weighted ATR band here when it does get these massive traps towards the downside. So we'll see if that is something that does continue, or if it doesn't, then we would be expecting to probably head down to these lower 3400s here for Reef. The upside here is a little bit more refreshing. We could probably expect 5,800 to break here if it does want to break over this trend line, and this would be the key area to be looking for potential long. So 5,850, and then looking to take profit around this volume weighted ATR band where we've been kind of stopped at before, right? So that's going to be yeah, around 6,000, that kind of area. What was the other coin I wanted to do here? I wanted to do where was it? No, I've lost it. Do you want to go?
I didn't actually prep a coin, to be honest with you, but I can just look at BTC quickly, because not a lot is going on here, guys. We're literally pretty flaccid right now. I would say it's looking like we are potentially going to actually find some more resistance to the downside, so please be prepared for that. The reasoning for this is, guys, as we were talking about at the start of the stream, the idea for this the RSI to actually start to trickle its way up and see some sort of completion of the measure move here, it's actually coming into fruition. Whether we're going to find resistance coming through from here, which is going to be happening probably, I don't know, within the next 15 minutes to half an hour here, we could see some serious downside momentum coming down if we are going to get rejected like we have seen in previous price action in terms of selling power for the RSI here. This could happen. If that is going to happen, I just be prepared, guys. I really would expect lower prices, and I probably would expect to test this 18K, 18,112 yet again. And the reasoning for this is we haven't seen any sort of major upwards momentum in terms of reclaiming moving averages, especially on the 15-minute here. And also, even this blue box zone which we were using here for a really good idea of potential areas for support and resistance, we haven't even got back into that like nicely. We haven't held the support for that. So yeah, that's looking really awful as well. So yeah, it's I would expect probably downside momentum coming through from here, unless out of nowhere we do see us really reclaim this volume weighted ATR band. And we know how strong this volume weighted ATR band is, guys, in terms of holding us up, in terms of support. So if we can reclaim it, then yeah, it's going to be pretty good stuff here, because you can see the last time that we reclaimed it like so, you can see we do see a nice significant pump to the upside. If that is going to happen, ideal. If it's not going to happen, we'll probably see trending below it, guys. And if this does happen, guys, it's going to yeah, there we go, we're back. If this does happen, we can actually expect resistance at around 18,761. So yeah, just be prepared for this. We're seeing a minor pump at the moment for BTC. So in terms of the real insane micro now, let's should we jump down to 1 minute for a second? You can see how like
I like to live dangerously.
how literally how boring the price action, how low the volume has been over the last, well, I don't know, a long time now. for BTC, since we did see those insane dumps, right? So yeah, we are seeing a pretty significant pump at this time, probably like 30, 40, 50 bucks. Up to the 200 EMA is definitely an area for resistance to watch if you are scalping this like a dangerous human being. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me in terms of the BTC analysis. If you did want a more in-depth one and you are just joining the stream, we go deep down and dirty into the BTC chart at the start of the stream, so feel free to rewind it. And again, guys, I do see Tito Burrito, cool name. Tito Burrito coming by and saying thank you for doing the TA that we're doing, and basically found the analysis he was looking for on the way to work. So yeah, we do stream, as I was saying, Monday, Wednesday, and we do have a Thursday night trade-off as well. So we look forward to having you here again. Amazing stuff. We do enjoy what we do as well. Yeah, I think that's going to be it from me. What are you saying over there, Hammy? Did you find the coin that you were looking for?
Nah, I gave up in the end, but I will do a little macro while we're here, and just before we do go, I am still looking for a potential short here as we do hit this, but these are very indecisive candles, I will say this. So yeah, this could easily just blast through. I will be cautious with it. But yeah, I'd probably be expecting another wick down here for sure. Let's just take a look at 1%, what that would look like here for a little trade. Yeah, it's doable. Very, very doable. If we do want to wick up here and then come back down and then hit that take profit for 1%, it makes sense to me. So that's probably a trade I will be going for if the stream is going to work. I've currently got my entry here at the moment from the last candle. But yeah, hopefully we can bring that down. Hopefully it's all good, But yeah, let's bring up to the daily right now, and we can really just look at what we're looking for here over the next kind of few days. And again, if you guys do want daily updates, then we do cover all days of the week through our 3 channels here. So our joint one here, and then we have Hamilton of Crypto, and then Crypto Chester, as well as all separate channels where we do our own updates on our trading plans and everything like that for you guys to learn completely for free, right? So yeah, feel free to go check those out in the description. But without further ado, let's jump in here and just kind of summarize what we're looking for with Bitcoin, right? So ideally, looking at this this wave down we've just had, right, we're looking for continuation of that wave. We won't be looking for the trade ideally until 17.5 for the big daily trade anyway. We just talked about the short-term trades, the scalps I'm looking for here for the downside, right? Obviously around this area, 18.5, looking to short down for 1% as we hit this moving average. And then besides that, if we get above this volume weighted ATR band here on the shorter time frames, the hourly here, then I would be expecting a bit more of a wave up, right? Potentially a test of this trend line from the other side first, right? But usually when we get back above that volume weighted ATR band, we can get very significant waves towards the upside, just in most cases, as you can see here, right? So fantastic stuff. That's essentially what I'm going to be looking for my next 2 kind of flaccid positions, right? Not like I'm not just banging all in 100x on these things. I'm basically just going to be throwing in little scalps here and there to kind of bring my balance up slowly with this strategy, right? I'm more of a swing trader, long-term trader, that kind of stuff. So yeah, this will be profitable, but it's not going to be my main strategy, and it is open to fair amounts of variance as well. So that's what I would say there. With that, and again, concluding on this, we do have this measure move completion around 17.8, so that's going to be a key area to watch. That won't be outside of our trap zone, so this will be a key area to be potentially watching for us to kind of fizzle out with this move. It does look like momentum is slowly kind of dropping off here, so if we do fizzle out and want to head up here, and it probably won't take that long, but something along the lines of this is probably more likely. And then yeah, if we head up, fantastic, there will be a move towards the upside, which we'll be looking for around 5%. We'll be looking for breaking various highs based on this kind of length of the move anyway. We've drawn it like that for now, but yeah, it could be a lot smaller depending on where we are on the triangle. And besides that, yeah, that would be the upside move I'm looking for there. And then towards the downside continuation, just looking for this kind of low to break here, as you can see, 17.6. Banging it down here for like 6%. Fantastic stuff. And that's what we do here. We make the monies. We make copious amounts of cash coming through. But that is basically going to be it for this stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, as always. And yeah, we've said this quite a lot, but Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's when we do it. And if that interests you, and you're liking us, you're liking our analysis, and you want to learn some more, feel free. It's all free. It's all completely free. We do this completely for fun and to help other people. And then ideally, everyone gets rich. We all come together, and then we start huge corporation businesses to take back the planet.
Good stuff, good stuff. So yeah, we are going to end it there, guys. Again, thank you ever so much from me. And we'll see you on our private channels, and we'll see you back here for Wednesday's BTC update stream. It's Monday, right? Yeah, it's Monday. Good stuff, yeah. Peace out, guys. Thanks again.
Have a good one. Peace. You know why we're here. Josie! Yes, he gains!